Okay, guys, so thank you for being here and looking at this here to this here video dedicated to Saint Expedite that I just pulled off just now, just in the nick of time. So a whole hot mess right now. Today is I was about to say February. Today's May the 13th. It's 11:11 Saint Expedite, and so this here is just as per an agreement that I had made with him. I did agree to, see to it that I do a video, a tutorial, or some and dedicate this to him, because I owed it to him, And what else did I want to touch on? Yeah. So what you do with Sand Expedite, I know I've said this a few times prior, and I'm working on my better on my quality of videos as well for Send Expedite, because he's actually good to call and guaranteed to come through for you, and just in the nick of time at the last minute, right? But that is not his, as I got to grow and learn with this energy here, what he actually does stand for is responsibility. And so, in addition to working with Saint Expedite, you know, as the say that you call at the last minute, or the energy that you would like to call on at the last minute, you have to and you when he does come through for you, you give him his cake and his flowers, his roses, or what have you. You have to make sure that you keep your end of the bargain, no matter what. That is the lesson that I know that I've learned, from working with him. So you need to be accurate and what's the word I'm looking for? You can't procrastinate when it comes to paying him or giving him his pound cake and his flowers, candle, public notoriety. Pardon me, guys. Oh goodness, I'm just glad I got this done. His public statement or a public announcement, and you can even also go and I don't know, go help someone that's less fortunate, or give some money to like a soup kitchen or a shelter. Also, those are all ways that you will be immediately paying them back. So, what I had to learn, and what I had to learn was to, if I really had as much faith as I was saying that I did have, I had to learn. You got to learn to pay attention and be on the lookout for your petition being granted and for your wish, if you will, coming true. Because I can recall one time, and I do still have, I should still have some actual videos up of when I was literally getting ready to be evicted, and I was so in a rush, anxious, which I'm not supposed to be anxious for anything, worried. I was helping people, because I thought that they were going to be able to help me and stuff like that. And at the very last minute, I wasn't checking my mail or anything like that. And I had someone here with me that was supposed to get paid in a week or whatever, and they were going to help me get out of my little jam here. One hand washes the other, and everything was going to be fine. So, in my crazy state of being at that time, and which is a clear indication of of not necessarily having faith, or you got to be organized. Even when you're on a drop of a hat, you've got to be organized, and you've got to be clear, and you've got to have a set way that you what is the word I'm looking for, folks? React. Well, anyway, it's not that, but I'm at a loss for words. But I'm glad that I did. I'm just grateful that I got this done. I didn't want to write anything down because I wanted to be off the top, and it's really genuine and heartfelt. Now, I do have actually for Saint Expedite, I finally managed to get my hands on on a laminated photo of him. So what you would do is you write out your petition carefully and thoughtfully, as thoughtful as you possibly can. You let them know exactly whatever it is that you need. Like, say you need $600 by Thursday. You say that I need $600 and I need it by Thursday. And I mean, especially when you've exhausted all other options, you make sure that you keep it would be prudent for you to keep, that nice, clean, clear copy of your agreement that you agreed, because if you don't, and then Thursday gets here and I don't know, you got to work a double, or, the kids are sick or whatever, life is going on, you can actually forget you get the money from whatever way it came, but you could forget to get him his pound cake, make his public statement, go out and help a person that's less fortunate than yourself. And so it's like you don't keep your agreement. Now with me, that has happened, and I was alerted to the fact that, sometimes if you don't keep your word, then, Saint Expedite will start to take back everything that, he did actually provide for you. I didn't notice that ever occurring with me until I was well in, years into dealing with him. Mainly I guess when I got here, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, is when I noticed that, oh shucks, I made a promise that I couldn't keep. You can't, or you shouldn't. Also, a prudent spiritual worker, especially one that's, like a generational curse breaker, or you're one of the first ones in your bloodline to actually, grab a pair and take a risk, and tap your foot into the waters of the unknown. You don't want to do any work for anyone. I can recall one time a relative of mine was here, and they had like some kind of heart issue. The ambulance had to come or something. Then they had left. They went to work, and the person had FaceTimed me at work, and they're on a stretcher. And then my mom had to get up and go down there and meet with them. And then, it was like really traumatic and really a lot going on. It was really late at night. And the next thing you know, the relative, my mom called me and she's like, so-and-so says to do a petition to your Saint Expedite or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And like, it was just like, exact, just like that. He's fine. All the monitors had, I was here and they were in the ER or whatever. The monitors had piped down, and I said, okay, when all he has to do is bring me a pound cake and some flowers on you guys' way back. And he never did, because he didn't care. It was a fluke to him. It was goofy. It was not something that he was taking seriously. And so by it being late, like I said, I like to have his stuff ready for him right away. And by me leaving that responsibility in the hands of someone that didn't deserve his help, I was still responsible to make sure that happened. And at the time, like now, I wasn't driving. I'm sorry, I put something. What the hell was I eating? I'm trying to fix this damn hair. I don't know if I'm gonna wear it like this or not, but I don't want to go too long. Okay, good. Yeah, so I just wanted to cover some of those variables that can definitely occur. When you're dealing with Saint Expedite or any new age situation, for that matter. What else? One other thing that I used to mull over constantly was that, I don't want anyone to know that my help or my secret weapon was Saint Expedite, because then I just felt like that would give like another worker, the drop on my Saint Expedite. And listen, I've already got this cross like fixed on, and I maneuvered it, so I got to get him another one. Actually, this is my first statue, and this is my very first piece of spiritual stuff that I actually invested in with my own money, and it was a big deal to me. Believe it or not. And so when I got the statue, the cross fell off right away. And I didn't tell anyone that I was getting it, but I mean, who knows? There are so many spiritual things that occur that we know nothing about. Like, for instance, I don't mean to sidetrack you from Saint Expedite. I just wanted, for instance, I was sitting here trying to fix this here, this cross on there the best way that I could and make it look at least not tacky, and it just kept on falling. And I'm like, oh shucks, I'm doing my hair. I've got all the mirrors open, and there is definitely a thing called Monitoring Spirits. And I'm like, why does this fucking thing keep goddamn fucking dropping? And I was afraid that I was going to go into Sunday. I wanted to do this for Saturday. And even now, this is like at the last minute, but it's like really the journey that I'm taking with this spiritual walk with Saint Expedite. I feel like we've just had a new, a renewing or something like that. I don't know. I'm just glad that I could do this because I wasn't really, certain that I was going to be able to get it all done. I got him his own rum, and but what I was going to also add in there is that this might be slightly advanced, but you want to definitely check in with yourself and check in with your spirit team. Sit with yourself to know if this is the right thing to do, before you work with Saint Expedite. I'm giving you some other particulars that I've never heard anyone delve deep into. So I'm just giving you that. I think it's worth it. I mean, I certainly do agree with keeping your end of a bargain, doing what you're supposed to do. Don't say you're going to do something and then don't do it. So that has actually been something that I actually have had an issue with my whole life. So for me to be actually sticking to it, no matter how minute it may seem to the next person, I'm building a relationship with Saint Expedite. And I mean, what if Saint Expedite has like friends, right? I'm building a good reputation. Okay, and the flowers, they're not that expensive. As a matter of fact, these here, I got them a few days ago. So I was like, man, I got these freaking effing flies in here and shit. And I'm like, oh, those some fucking flowers. I gotta rinse them out. So I didn't get to get them some new ones, but I did, spruce the place up a little bit, sprayed my Florida water, and I, cleared as much as I can clear away. I'm kind of really busy now, and my place is very, very humble, okay? But I don't know. I said all this to say it's the day before Mother's Day. At the drop of a hat, last minute, I managed to go ahead and bust a move and get some things that I had run out of. And yeah, this is, like I said, this is dedicated to Saint Expedite. I think I have to go through my documents that I do keep, until I fulfilled everything, on my end. I think I may owe him another video, and I'm also just considering working with him in a different way. That's a more creative way, because I do want to keep my end of the bargain, and I do want you to know the other concerns that did come across my consciousness, times in the past. So in the past, I was asked a few times to to petition him on someone else's behalf also. And I couldn't, I wasn't certain of it. That's a very small, that's a seemingly little thing to ask for. But like I said, Saint Expedite he never fails. All I'm trying to tell you is he just don't fail. Oh, that time when I was on the brink of getting evicted, the person that was supposed to look out for me stayed here right directly up until the day before, the day that I had to go to court, and they stuck me, and they took my stuff, they left, and left me here holding the bag, and I literally was on my ass. Come to find out, I go out and I get an email from some place, and yo son, they sent me some fucking money and shit, and they had to resend it, but I was like, phew, oh my god, it was just so close. Oh wow, he really did come through, but he had come through already. The mail had been returned, so he had already come through with what he was, doing. But me being all Stacy, and then that's what I call myself sometimes. It's one of my what's the word? Damn it, the hell. Oh, my lackadaisical alter egos, they leave lots to be desired. They're like forgetful, but at the same time, I just, there's a lot more that goes into him. I would like to always give you some things to consider and work on when it comes to this here, spiritual walk, especially if you are delving into things outside of the normal, traditional practices, that you typically would see, especially in the United States of America. So kudos to Saint Expedite. His day is on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. His number is 303. You can change him out for Baron Samedi, if there's a situation going on. You have to do some research of your own to know who you know, the Baroness, but it's just so, it's just a girl. I love this. I love this. I love you, Saint Expedite. Thank you very much. And so I'm going to let that be that right there. Thank you so much for watching. And pardon my messy, let me see. Okay, thanks.